So finally, budget has been presented, and with that, the Section Finance Commission recommendation has also been tabled into the Parliament. So let us see the summary of the recommendation of the Section Finance Commission for 2026 to 31. Okay, so this is for 5 years, 2026 to 31. Okay, so let us see. So the Finance Commission, here is the basics. So the Finance Commission is constitutional body constituted by President every 5 years to make recommendation on center state fiscal relations. Okay, so this is the Finance Commission is basically constitutional body, which means that the constitution itself talk about the formation of the Finance Commission. Okay, so Article 280, under Article 280, basically President constitute this Finance Commission after every 5 years, or on every 5 years. Okay, interval. To why? To make recommendation on center state fiscal relations. Now the report of 16 Finance Commission, which was chaired by Dr. Arvind Panagaria, was tabled in Parliament on February 1st, 2026 for the 5 year period between 2026 to 27 and 2030 to 31. Key recommendations of the Commission include share of state in central taxes. So the share of state in the divisible pool of central tax has been recommended at 41%. This is the same as the share recommended by the 15th Finance Commission. Okay, so the recommendation for the states in the recommendation for the share in share of state in the center tax has been kept at 41%. That is same as it was in 15 Finance Commission recommendation. Now digital pool is arrived at after excluding cost of collection and seizures and such charges from the gross tax revenue collected by the central government. Okay, now what is the criteria for devolution? To provide for the distribution of central taxes among states, Finance Commission defined a formula with weightage for certain parameters. Table 1 below shows the criteria used by 16 Finance Commission to determine each state's share in central taxes and the weights assigned to them. Table 3 in an Excel shows the individual share of the state. So this is the criteria for distribution of central taxes among states. So you have certain criteria which are common to both 15 Finance Commission and 16 Finance Commission. However, one new indicator has been added, which is the contribution to GDP into the 16 Finance Commission. Okay, and tax and fiscal efforts, basically it got replaced by contribution to GDP. Okay, so which is having 10% weightage this time. So you have first criteria which is common between these two is the income distance. Okay, so this was earlier 45%. Now it has been reduced by 2.5, so 42.5% now. Then you have population according to 2011 census, so it is now 17.5%. Then you have demographic performance, and now it is 10%. Area, forest, both are 10% each. And then tax and fiscal efforts, so it was basically 2.5% earlier, but sorry, this time it is not. Sorry, this time it has been replaced by contribution to GDP. So this is the thing. Now, per capita GSDP distance, income distance. The Session Finance Commission has defined income distance as the difference between the per capita GSDP of a state and the average of the per capita GSDP of the top three large states with the highest per capita GSDP. Per capita GSDP has been computed as the average over the period 2018-19 and 2023-25, excluding the pandemic year of 2020-21. States with lower per capita GSDP will receive higher share on this parameter to maintain equity among states. Now, population, on this parameter, the share in devolution is determined based on the share in the population as per the 2011 census. Now demographic performance. The 15 Finance Commission had introduced this parameter to award states for controlling population on the basis of total fertility rate. The 16th Finance Commission has redefined this to account for population growth between 1971 and 2011 instead of relying on change in total fertility rate. States with lower population growth will have a higher share under this parameter. Now, talking about the forest, the 16th Finance Commission has assigned weightage to both the share of state in overall forest area and its share in the increase in overall forest area between 2015 and 2023. Further, it has also considered open forest in arriving at the total forest area. In contrast, the 15th Finance Commission had considered only dense and moderately dense forest and defined the parameter only in terms of share in the overall forest area. Now, contribution to GDP. This is the latest one. The 16th Finance Commission has introduced this parameter to account for contribution to national GDP. This replaces a tax and fiscal efforts parameter used by 15 Finance Commission, which rewarded states with a higher tax collection efficiency. Contribution to GDP by a state is calculated as the square root of uh, GSDP to the sum of the square root of the GSDP of all states. GSDP of each state has been measured as the average nominal GSDP between 2018-19 and 2023-24. Now, grants date. The Section Finance Commission has recommended grants worth rupees 9.47 lakh crore over the 5-year period. These comprise grants for urban and rural local bodies, disaster management. The 16th Finance Commission had discontinued the following grants for the 15th Finance Commission: revenue deficit grants, sector specific grants, and state specific grants. Now, grants in air for 2026 31 in crore. So, rural local bodies are going to get maximum at 4,35,236. Then urban local bodies 3,56,257 crore. So that is the thing. Now, grants for local bodies we also already got basic grants. So 50% of basic grants will be untied, and the rest 50% will be tied to sanitation and solid waste management and for water management. Okay, now fiscal roadmap. The commission has recommended that the state should the center should bring down fiscal deficit to 3.5% of GDP by 2030 to 31. It recommended the annual fiscal deficit limit for the state to be 3% of GSDP. It also recommended strictly discontinuing the practice of off-budget borrowing for the states, bringing all such borrowings onto their budgets. The definition of fiscal deficit and debt should be expanded to uniformly include all of budget borrowings. The Commission has projected the combined debt of the central and state government to decline from 77.3% in 2026-27 to 73.1% of GDP in 2030 to 31. Now, power sector reforms. The Commission recommended that the state should actively pursue privatization of electricity distribution companies. Uh, now, this is the subsidy expenditure. Now, public sector enterprises. The Commission recommended a review and closure of 308 inactive state public sector enterprises. It recommended formulation of a state level PSC disinvestment policy to target inactive and underperformance SPSEs. Okay, well, this is how they are going to get and how much they are going to get the money. Okay, so let us see something. So you see, for example, Bihar earlier it was getting 9.67. Okay, now in 15 it was 10.06. Now it is 9.95. So it's seen reduction. Okay, similarly UP also seen a reduction. Okay, so that is the thing. Anyway, so So I think now the broader clear is clear that the new indicator, that is the contribution to GDP, has been added, which basically replaces the tax and fiscal efforts of the 15th Finance Commission. Okay, so the contribution of GDP is having a 10% of weightage. Okay, so that is the thing. Okay, and let us see certain recap. I think now much things have been clear. So thank you. We'll meet again.